What do you think about our new pickup, Merc?
I'm learning a lot just like everybody else. I mean, as plugged in as I am, like I keep up with challengers just so like when they ask, and like I love it obviously, but especially like for the show. So when they ask like who's next up or like we need something to talk about, I can kind of keep an eye on it. So his name's been floated out there for a while, but not that long. I mean, we were talking about it in your stream last night. Like he only started competing in like June
that is insane.
Of last year at the tail end of Modern Warfare 3 before the Esports World Cup.
Did he compete at World Cup?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I meant to go back and look at it just because obviously we're going to have to talk about it on the watch party a lot. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of people who want to know. So I'm trying to brush up on as much as I can. But I know he joined at the end of MW3. And from what I understand, like he's been playing a lot of search and stuff in sort of the circles with like Ender and those guys who run that
S&D
scene
kid.
For a while. But as far as what I know, just based on Challenger's performance and watching him at Major 3, like I'm really excited to see what he can do.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen some of the scrim maps.
Dude.
Joey and I were tapped in a little bit yesterday to
crazy.
that. So
I don't want to.
They look good, and I think the Toronto guys after Major 3 did like a little podcast. And they were talking about him, and Joe Deceives, who's like running the game right now, who's probably a top 2, top 3 sub in Black Ops 6, was just saying like it was crazy to watch him in sort of real time figure out how to play the game, and like he just does the right thing on the map, which is so rare, especially for somebody in that situation with that little experience, to make it easy for the other 3 guys to not have to change anything. So they were saying like anywhere you looked on the mini map or any route he was taking, it was like he's taking the right route, he's playing the right timing, he's not overextending and over-challing in search that like a lot of young players, they get on that main stage, like their adrenaline kicks in and they get the sprints or they do that, and they were just like that didn't happen with him, that he made the game really easy.
Yeah, I walked to the scrim room yesterday. JP was like looking at the VOD or the codcaster, and then he looks at me and takes his earphones off, and he was like, this kid's fucking nasty. Yeah. I was like, well, I've never heard JP talk that way.
Yeah, and
I was like, what?
Ant has that clip that's been circulated now just saying like he's him. Like he's actually gross. So I'm excited to watch.
But that being said, we have gotten criticized a lot this year for being the let's talk about scrims team. So I don't want to be that, but it does look promising.
You have to go on.
Yeah,
like people are going to talk about it. It's like it's the damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like if you don't say anything about how things are going, people are going to ask.
Right.
So then when they ask and you answer, then it's like, well, in scrims, why are talk about it in a match? It's
like how are they doing in scrims? They're doing really well. Oh, of course they're doing well in scrims.
Yeah.
And then we lose a game and they're like, oh, but they were doing well in scrims. Like I wasn't boasting about it. You asked.
Which like I'm sure you've had your fair share of dealing with that over the years. Like I'm relatively compared to you and Matt and Roger and the guys who've been doing this for a long time, like new to sort of seeing a lot of the reactionary stuff and how the community engages on social media with things like that. So
my favorite is when people put something in quotations. Like bad example, but like I was playing Warzone, and like there's a one of the guns, like the animation on it is like some crazy alien shit. Like some really crazy, like the gun falls apart and then there's fire that comes out. It's really cool. But then somebody in quotations put in chat, we want Black Ops 6 to be as realistic as possible with quotations. And I'm like, no one ever said, like, that's not ever, tell me who you're quoting. And people do that with OpTic all the time. But we've been frying in scrims with in quotes. And I'm like, you can't put shit in quotes if no one said it. No one said, but we've been frying in scrims. Like, who has said that? Like, if you ask us how we're doing in scrims, or if Shotzi's,
or out of context when like you're directly asked how are scrims going. It's like, oh, they're going really well.
Scrims are going great.
Like what are you supposed to say? If they're going great, what else are you supposed to say?
Yeah, just every time someone asks how scrims are going, JP just says, I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Like I will not tell you.
Yeah.
How about that? I will not tell you how scrims are going.
And then there's a post about how he's not saying anything, so they're going terrible.
They're going terrible. JP is pleading the fifth. Something illegal must be happening in scrims.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have nearly the platform that any of you guys do, but like even the small like taste of that, like I can't imagine that on a larger scale of like what they must go through. If everything you say is going to be a clip and posted about.
I feel like it's really bad right now. I don't know why, but I think somebody's trolling me specifically on. Have you checked the OpTic Reddit yet? like in a while. It's not nearly as active as it once was, but most of the clips are just people asking me something on my stream, and then I'll like say something, and it's like a 4-second clip, and they'll just post it on the OpTic Reddit. And
the latest one I saw was somebody asked like a vague question maybe about APG. It was like a 4-second clip, and somebody was like, Hitch confirms APG to OpTic soon.
Yeah, because I read like, when is APG coming to OpTic? And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, obviously trolling.
Or you'll just say something like, oh, soon.
Yeah,
soon.
exactly.
Like, and I'm like,
and then just clip it, put it up there, and I'm like, dude. And I do that with my chat 100% of the time. Yeah. Everyone that says anything, even if it's genuine, I try to like jab for some reason. It's how I fucking show my love.
Yeah, I've been asking around for a little bit. It's like, has it always been like this? Because like I watched the tournaments, but I wasn't that like chronically on Twitter or on Reddit in the like the OpTic Dynasty days.
Yeah.
The World War II and
I mean, it's always been
whatnot.
It's always been I want to say toxic. It hasn't always been toxic. There's a lot of good people on the Reddits, but it is the place where you can be the most critical. So if you want to criticize anything to do with Call of Duty, player wise, that's the place to do it. Because most people, like if you follow somebody on Twitter, you're following them on Twitter because you want to see what they do. Or if that's if you follow someone on Twitch or if you're in someone's chat, like you want to see what they're doing. So most likely it's going to be positive. But on Reddit, it's a broad blanket of Call of Duty. So you can criticize anyone because it's not necessarily like a fandom. So
which is funny because like I have the opposite frustration with like the Minnesota Vikings subreddit. I don't know. You have no reason to go there as a non-Vikings fan, but they have the opposite problem where it's like
they praise
as soon as they announce like last year with JJ McCarthy,
right? When
they announced that he was the draft pick, you would have thought like
they won the Super Bowl,
that like they had picked up prime Tom Brady. Like the reactionary, like, oh my God, look at this throw in this game. He's going to be the future of the franchise. And I'm like, okay, you guys can relax a little bit. Like, I get you're excited about the pick.
That is so funny.
But I'm like, no wonder you guys are always heartbroken as a franchise. Because like everything I see is always
set your standards
running
down.
back we drafted in the 5th round, and he really shows similarities to Emmitt Smith in 1996. And I'm like, okay, guys.
Yeah, I wish it was like that for COD. No, but what's happening now? It's happening a lot on YouTube. It's happening a lot on Twitter, but I've never seen it happen on Reddit before. But it's happening on Reddit now, where like people are just throwing up clips from like COD history just to get like upvotes. So like people will be like, "Here's the 1v1 from TJ Halley and Skies and Methods. Here's the 1v1," and they'll just post the clip, and like that's it. And then like it'll get its upvotes, and then you look at that person's Reddit history, and they're doing that once a day or twice, 3 times a day just to get like upvotes, and it's like, dude, well, it's not contributing to any like discussion. And a lot of the people on the COD subreddit have seen these clips 100 to 200 times.
But then there's people like me who like, I'm like, oh, this is fun to like have this isolated as a clip, like so I don't have to go back and find the MLG VOD and
I get
go
what
to
you're
the match and like whatever.
That makes sense.
I see both sides of it for sure. It's like I think I'm sort of in a unique position that way with the watch party of like having to be tapped into that stuff.
Yeah.
And having gaps in
so
my
it's you're saying this is like, your burner, your Reddit burner. You're the one that's posting 3 times a day.
No, see, that's the problem. It's like I don't know where to find them. So then that's where I discover them.
You have a network of clippers that are just putting it up.
I wish. I need some.